Hello, you're very welcome to another in this series of Tipperary age-friendly videos. Our focus for this video is LGBT and the services available locally in Tipperary. We're very fortunate today to meet Jane, who is going to share her story, tell us about the services, her experience and the difference it has made in her life. Sit back, relax and enjoy. Jane, good morning. Thanks very much for joining us here today. For our viewers, would you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. My name is Jane Houlihan. I live in Houlihan, County Tipperary. I volunteer with LGBT in Clonmel. I work with Ger Sweetman in the Clonmel Resource Centre. And I've been there now since 2017 as a volunteer. We do various different activities there. Of course, we give support. We have an adult support group the last Thursday of each month, which is open from 18s, over 18s. And we do art as well. We run an art class and then we're after doing 2 exhibitions.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's part of, but I suppose to get maybe back to the start of all that, how it happened, it didn't just, kind of magically. I lived in Waterford before I came to Clonmel. I would have lived in Waterford for maybe 3 years of that. I moved back up in 2013, in around 2013, but when I left Waterford, I was tending the mental health service in Waterford. So I was discharged from them back to Clonmel because I'd been in a different area. So I moved back to, I suppose, a nice quiet little place called Houlihan, and I tended the service inside through to mental health issues. But in that time, a friend of mine from Waterford, who I'd have known in Waterford, was trying to organise a support group in Clonmel for LGBT. And she rang me and she said, there's one going to start and we're hoping to start it fairly soon. I think this was around 2000, and then coming towards the end of 2015 when she would have rang and we spoke about there'd be support and who to meet and that. Now, my mental health, as I said at the time, wasn't great. I was tending the mental health service in Clonmel and going, doing, tending doctors there. And I was going weekly for a few months. But I still needed support, I think. That was one side of the depression, but I had no outlet for LGBT, for being trans. I had no one to talk to about the issues that would understand. Now, they were very good in the clinic, don't take me wrong. So I had a contact number for Ger, and I got this in 2016, and it took me nearly a year to actually get in there, which kind of, for people, that step to take, to walk in the door and to meet somebody can be very, very scary. Until, but I eventually took the step. I went in and met with Ger. And so funny, the day I went in that I picked up the courage to go in. I never rang, I just was in town, decided I'd go in. Ger was out of the office. I'm after making this big effort to go in. And Ger was out. And I thought, God, I should have rang. So I went home and thought, okay. I left a message saying I'd call in, I'd be there the day after. So I call in. So yeah, I called in, I met Ger and we done a one-to-one, talked about my needs and how I was and what supports maybe and that. So I went to the support, to the group, and I was going for maybe 6 months of that, in every month going in and talking, and my confidence was building. I was getting a lot from the meet. And in that time, I'd still go into Ger at least once a week, sit on a one-to-one and discuss where I was going, where my life was going, what would I like to do. And then the question came up about facilitating, and I thought, yeah, I'd give it a go. If I could do it, I would. If I couldn't, I'd just walk away and just come to the support. So Ger said, look, I would get all the support to be a facilitator. So with the backup and support, I said I'd take over. And I'd run the trans adult group. So Ger sat in for the first couple of meetings, and then we decided that if we had a second trans person, and keep it not trans friendly, but that people were more likely, and we got feedback that people wanted to talk to another trans person. So then what we done was people would ring for support, and they'd ring Ger, and Ger would set up a meeting. So what we would do is we'd meet on a one-to-one with the person. I'd sit in and answer the questions that Ger mightn't answer on being trans. So the trans issues and all the experience I have is lived experience, which people want to hear. What's your daily life like? What's it like to be? How did you come over this? And how did you get? All the different questions. How is people with you? How's your family? What did you do? How did you? All these questions. So I could say, right, okay, it is a marathon, not a sprint. So we'd slow the thing down. We'd get them to come to the group. We'd find out as much as we could on their needs. And when they come to group, they had a face. I'd meet them on the night coming in the reception. We go up and we'd sit in, introduce the person. And usually, you get then I think for the person coming in, and we're finding down through the years since I took over that there's people out there of an age, maybe around my age, and it doesn't always have to be older, but there is people out there that find that one step, like I said, to walk in the door, and actually to a room can be so scary. And I've been there, and this is partly one of the reasons why I wanted to give back and volunteer. For me, listening to somebody, and I go, yeah, I went through that. I sat at home in that room. I lived my life in my front room. That was my existence, was that front room, was sitting within four walls. I would get upset over that, which makes me feel that way now, because I lived that for years. And I'm looking at this person sitting there and going, I can get what you're saying, I relate with you. So that feeling of giving that back, where I was, to see somebody coming in, sitting in front of me, that sat in that seat, and was terrified and petrified of stepping outside my front door to know what the reaction would be. So this is our support group, how it helps, is that chat, saying, that'll be okay, that's normal. Everyone goes through that. Come to the meetings, come, pick up the phone, ring us, and we'll either support on the phone or we'll come to the group, meet other people. So that's part of, the group, how we manage that support. And then we're thinking of activities. What do we do in the group? We can sit, we can talk about it, but people's interests. Like we have people that love poetry, writing stories. We have people drawing art. So when I attended the mental health services, I said at the very start, I attended art classes. And I gave about 2 years with the mental health service, going to the art every week to get myself. And within that 2 years, I picked up a lot of painting skills that I didn't think I was ever going to learn. So I said I'd bring them skills and I'd start a class. So we decided we'd do an exhibition, and we asked everybody to get involved. So we brought the two groups in together. We had the LGBT, we had the LGB and the LGBT. So we had the two groups, and we merged together for everybody to have a say, for everybody to go, right, you have a say in what we do. So we're going to do a big piece, and people said, oh, I can't paint, I can't draw. And I go, well, neither could I. So none of us can, but what we're going to do is we'll do it together. So everybody in that room was part of it. When I say I gave the classes, I was only a part. I was only like a link in the chain. That's the way I love to put it, because everybody is important. So we all took a brush up. The fun we had together, putting the exhibition together and getting it going, it was exciting. But people were out doing stuff, not sitting in a room talking about their issues, but they were out there painting, they were meeting, they were talking, I can do this and I can do that, and we can draw and I can make this. We're going, fantastic. So then we just hadn't we're going from a support group to outside the support group was different feeling to meet. It wasn't sitting down talking and having a facilitator. We all said, how are you getting on today? What's going on? And how are you? So we got to speak about the things with painting. So that exhibition was called LGBT and Me. And the second one we done was called LGBT and Family. So what we done with that one was again, we went a little step outside and we said, friends, family and allies, bring in some work. So I got my granddaughter, which was major for me, to get my granddaughter, who I probably hadn't spoken or seen some of my family for years, and then to have my granddaughter do a piece. And I say, this is my granddaughter's work. So we invited people and brought families as well together with each person. So some people had, they have drawings and have somebody come in maybe if they wanted to sing, dance, tell a story, whatever. We said, yeah, we can do this. So this is our group. This is what we try and do. We try and take, I always had interest in my life. And trans seemed to take over, which shouldn't be. And now, through the group, through support and through talking to people, trans is only a small part of my life. Just like before it was this and now it is here. We're like a little family, I suppose, of a group. We all get on, we all try and each person has a say in what we do. So, as I said, we do the art, and then we done last year, we done for the soup kitchen, and we went out and we got all different, we asked people to bring in whatever toys for the kids, and we would bring in hats and scarves and food parcels. And what we done was, we thought we'd have maybe a carload. We had 3 full carloads of stuff going up to the soup kitchen, and we said we'd go in and we'd volunteer there, and we'd give our time, and we'd help the people out there, doing it all year. We'd go in and get a little look in to see what goes on. It was amazing. Wow. So we had, I think the girl came out and she cried because we had so much stuff. We were there, and that's what I'm saying. As a group, we came and we got, everybody had a little job to do, and we packed everything for kids and for adults and for men and for women and toiletries and that. And it was, we try and give back to the community because the community helps us out. And I think we have that. We try and definitely keep that. We go on walks as well. We done one back in, gosh, I can't think of the date. But we done one this just the summer gone here. We done a walk. We did the Blue Way from Clonmel down to Kilsheelan and back, and that's our 2nd year doing it. So again, that's for friends and allies for the LGBT. So we invite in again the family. So it is open to the wider community. So it's not just just for LGBT people. It's for everybody. Sorry for whispering. It's for everybody. But that's part of what goes on. I think, the support I got, and I still get that support. I know through the whole lockdown, and we have to do phone and that and video, but still we find with that, again, as hard as it is for people that can't travel, we're after seeing, oh God, we can reach somebody in Cork, we can reach somebody in Dublin, we can reach somebody wherever they are that they can't come through the Zoom. We're thinking, oh my God, will this work? And it works for some people. And we're still doing this to try and link with people that were there, we're still here to help out. So yeah, it is, as I say, I still get the support. So I have ongoing support. And I suppose, for the older community and coming in, and I mean, I suppose for the younger, they have the generation is probably a little bit different. They're more out and going and that, and they have maybe more circle of friends that they're building up with. But still, I think for the older, and there's a lot of people there that still afraid to take that step. But we're there, and we do as much as we can to get people to come into us and that. So, it is great for me to have went for support, still getting it, and still giving support. I think that was the success for me, that I have a safety net. And if there's something going on, if there's a course going on, Jane would be interested in that, maybe computers, or there's an update on the facilitation skills, we'll do that. And there are lots of different things that's still going on. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting. I find it pretty exciting the whole time. And I know through the whole lockdown, I think not meeting people, but I think getting here today, we're just laughing. It's a little out and we're all excited. We're getting out. We can move about. We see other human beings. But I think for us, we are social animals. I think we love that interaction, as you can tell. I know you can't get a word in edgeways with me. But no, so yeah, that's the kind of me. That's the kind of where I come from, what I do. And yeah.
There's nothing I can ask you. For the simple reason, I think I'm sitting here in awe of what you have shared and what you have, I'm going to say, been through, and your openness and your honesty, telling your story. And the thing I get, I often say to people, it's not about being male or female, or it's about being a human being. And in front of me is a human being who is saying, I've been here, I've had to go through this, I still have hiccups maybe with it, and I keep my support system, and yet I can also give this.
Yeah.
I just think, wow.
Thank you very much. It's easy, you know, when you tell a story that comes from in here.
Yeah.
And you lived it. It's very easy. You don't need to write down a note.
No.
For me, it is well imprinted.
Yeah, and the other thing I picked up from you, I'm living life.
Living life, yeah.
And Jane living life.
Yeah. I was asked once upon a time to describe myself. Done a little radio show, and I was asked again to describe myself for the viewers, and I said, I don't like labels, so my name is Jane, I'm a Tipperary woman, I'm a musician and an artist. And, you know, and as I said, trans now is a small part of my life, which that's the way it should be.
That's it.
So, yeah.
Oh, Jane, wow. I'm truly honoured to hear your story. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us for today's video. I hope you found the information useful and helpful. The services across the county are really amazing, and as everybody interviewed today has said, access them. They're there to support you and help you in any way that they can.